So nearby Lucas, favourite Green Goblin quote, go.
Ah!
So nearby Lucas, I hope you're all screened out so you can explain to the audience at home what the specific topic of today's Wiki Weekends is. I want to guess weekends.
Yeah, sure. And we are going to be talking about Green Goblin, and unfortunately that's not just Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, but can we talk about Willem Dafoe for a bit? Willem Dafoe fucking owned that role.
Oh, so hard.
Because he's just swanning around like a dickhead. Just he's like, out, am I? Just, boom, and he's got the skeleton bombs. How do you not love a man with skeleton bombs?
I absolutely love the effect of that.
It's the most terrifying weapon I've ever seen in anything. The only thing that tops it is the skeleton ray from Mars Attacks.
Oh god, yeah.
Do you know the little ray gun that's turned into like a glowing skeleton? Well, as you said, Lucas, we can't just talk about Willem Dafoe. We're here to talk about the character from the comics, Norman Osborn. We'll start, as we often do, with some basic biographical information about the character being discussed. We have their name, Norman Virgil Osborn, aliases, Carnage.
We can't escape.
It's just another character. It's such a boring fucking trope. Just, this character needs a boost. Have them bond with Venom or Carnage.
There's so many people now. Like, so many characters have bonded with Venom.
It's the villain equivalent of just give them the Phoenix Force.
Yeah.
So how many characters we covered on this? Like, they're bonded with the Phoenix Force. Like, stop it. The Phoenix Force, man.
When I was editing the Shang-Chi video, and it's like, oh yeah, Shang-Chi had the powers of the Phoenix Force. At one point I looked it up and there's like an entire comic book where just everyone has the Phoenix Force. It's like, oh god.
It's okay with Lucas. Let's watch the taste of Carnage out of now. Some band names. We have Goblin King. Goblin Lord. I think I prefer that one because it sounds stupider. The Green Goblin, of course. The Iron Patriot. Overlord. The Red Goblin. Scryer. The Super Adaptoid. His other aliases include Commander Osborn, Director Osborn, the Kingpin of Crime, Mason Banks, Octo Goblin, and President Osborn. The thing is, I'm pretty sure there is like a Norman Osborn where he becomes president or something like that. He should have done it in the Green Goblin outfit.
Oh,
and I'd vote for that guy.
That's the Doctor Doom pull, isn't it? Where it's just, I'm going to rule Latveria as Doctor Doom.
I'm going to rule my country from my floating throne and be a giant swaggering bellend. I love you, Doctor Doom. Well, Lucas, do you want to move on to the fun stuff?
Well, I was just going to say that all I've got in my head right now is the image of Green Goblin on his glider swearing in the presidency.
Just in the suit. Yeah. Like at the presidential debate, he just throws the skeleton bomb.
Just flying around laughing his head off.
Yeah. Like, sir, what's your policy on education? Ah! Oh, before we move on though, Lucas, we have some unusual features here, which I'm going to note because it makes something in one of the movies make sense.
Okay.
A huge scar in the middle of his chest, which he gained after he was impaled by his own glider. And I don't know if they put that in because of the Raimi movies or the Raimi movies put it in because it happened in the comics. But
probably that, yeah.
Have you seen that in the Raimi movies though? Like, he doesn't get impaled in the chest. If you look, it gets him in the dick. If you look at the scene, it's in his dick. There's no other way to interpret where he gets hit by the glider. It's like right in the dick. Which means that when Harry Osborn found his dad, he had no dick. That's rough.
God.
That's a rough way to find you.
And then he went, Spider-Man took it.
Spider-Man took my dad's dick. And Lucas, do you want to just move on to powers and abilities? Oh, actually, no, we've got a personality section.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know. I want to know what was Willem Dafoe channeling when he was chewing on that scene on itself. A ruthless and ambitious, yet paranoid, troubled and disturbed man long before he took the Goblin formula. Norman Osborn looks up to tyrannical fascists such as Adolf Hitler and the Red Skull.
Oh.
His charisma and ambition have led him to become the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a time, rebranding it as Hammer, founded his own personal army, and even locate the temple with no name to learn how to use magic. Magic Goblin. I'm terrified.
Magic Venom Goblin in an Iron Patriot suit, Karl.
Oh man, just flying, and he's the president.
And he's Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus as well.
And
It's like, oh god,
and
put
the
them all
Kingpin.
together.
Norman is normally callous towards his son, dismissing him as a milquetoast disappointment, unworthy of inheriting his legacy. As a fucking goblin man. You can't inherit my legacy, son. Ah! It's great. Initially harbouring ambition of conquering the criminal underworld as a result of Spider-Man's constant meddling with his plans, Osborn developed an intense obsession with destroying Peter Parker's life as thoroughly as possible. After being exposed to the Goblin formula, which enhanced his physical abilities at the cost of his sanity, Osborn adopted the persona of the Green Goblin, a grandiose and theatrical maniac. He's definitely theatric. I'll give him that. The Green Goblin knows that brand.
We really need just a film where him and Mysterio like proper campy Mysterio are together.
We just need a film where Willem Dafoe is allowed to just like, I want to see all the deleted footage of him in costume reading his lines. Because he treats it like Willem Dafoe's like a proper serious actor, and he treats the role so seriously, but then he's just like, out, am I?
Out, am I?
And I don't think anything sums up how good an actor Willem Dafoe is more than the boardroom scene. Joey's like, he gets fired. And there's a great series of images breaking down. Like during that scene, in about 5 seconds, Willem Dafoe displays the 5 classical signs of grief within a split second. And I forget that, I think that's like, it's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. I think they're the ones. And he shows them just with his face in a split second. It's like, he's so fucking good. And I never even noticed that. When I saw it broke, I was like, oh my God, he does.
Yeah.
Because he's Willem Dafoe and he's awesome. It's like when you watch James McAvoy in Split, and like he's able to like portray like 4 people at once, and his face completely shifts for each one. After the gathering of 5, Osborn was cursed with insanity and his mental instability worsened, with the Green Goblin eventually developing into a split personality. I love that. Like when he's doing the mirror scene. Because you know Willem Dafoe, he treated that like Shakespeare. Like he treated that like the great soliloquy that he's giving, and it's just like him in the mirror like, it's so fucking good. And we're not making fun of it. Like, I love Willem Dafoe in that role.
Yes, it's so good.
But it's so bad. Like,
Yeah.
It's bad because it's so over the top. It's so much more over the top than any other performance in that film.
That's true, but that is quite Raimi-esque, isn't it? Of he's going for very much a comic book feel in terms of how over the top everything is.
Yeah, for a comic book movie. Who'd have thunk it? Can we just please have now a smash cut of just Willem Dafoe absolutely loving it being Green Goblin and then just Superman in the Pit of Skulls?
I'm gonna get you out of here! It's okay! You're pathetically predictable. No! Stop! No! No!
Every time I just like, he's drowning in a pit of skulls. I was in the cinema, a kid fucking started crying when that scene happened. It's like, why is Superman dying? Powers and abilities. The Goblin Formula is actually called that. The Goblin Formula grants Norman Osborn the following abilities. Superhuman strength. Osborn can easily overpower a human by lifting them with one hand or throwing them through the air. He can also lift extremely heavy objects, crush and break through wood panels, bend metal, punch through glass without gaining injury. As shown on many occasions, he can physically match Spider-Man, even before bonding with the Carnage symbiote. Regenerative healing factor. If he does sustain injury, his body's increased metabolism allows to heal damaged tissue much faster. While not nearly as efficient as the healing powers of Wolverine, like what are? They always say that. It's like Wolverine like healed from a skeleton.
It's just Wolverine and Deadpool are on another level. Let's get on with it.
It's like Wolverine could survive the skeleton bomb and come back. Is that one?
He literally would take the hit, turn to a skeleton, and come back. Yeah.
Was that one comic? Yeah, a guy incinerates him down to the skeleton, and then he comes back like 5 minutes later.
It's painful, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. He also recovered from having over a dozen bombs exploded while webbed. Spider-Man webbed a dozen bombs to his chest.
Fucking hell, Spider-Man.
That is a dick move. It's like that's basically how he dies in the film.
Well,
isn't it?
I didn't kill him. His weapon killed him.
Yeah. I just jumped out of the way.
Calm down, Goku. Fucking hell.
The Goblin Formula enhanced his mental faculties and creative talents. Aside from the physical advantages, the serum greatly enhanced his already highly above average intellect, making him capable of making progress in advanced areas of genetics, robotics, engineering, applied chemistry that most professional scientists can scarcely comprehend, let alone understand.
Is that improved intelligence worth having a goblin just screaming in your skull?
Because, for example, Osborn once created a cure for cancer, but instead used it as a weapon against Deadpool.
Oh, no.
He cured cancer and shot it at Deadpool.
No.
Why is Spider-Man's rogues gallery full of people who can cure cancer and choose not to? 'Cause that's where you get that great panel, isn't it? The guy who's a dinosaur. It's like, with this technology, you could cure cancer. Like, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. Goblin Glider. We need to talk about this. He soon redesigned this device to an improved version called the Goblin Glider, capable of great maneuverability and speeds up to 90 miles an hour. It's capable of supporting about 400 pounds, including Norman's weight, and far more for very brief periods of time. Top speed and a full normal load will exhaust the fuel supply in about 1 hour. The main microprocessor-assisted manual controls were behind the head of the glider. Later modifications added voice-activated radio link controls. How fucking scary is the idea of the Green Goblin being stood there and just like, get in. And then just this giant metal bat. That's what he does in the debates. So, well, on my opponent, I think I've got one thing to say, and it is, duck. What?
No, or you just have it hovering right in front of the face as the answer to the question.
Just with the guns loaded. I love comic books.